Hello. You'll have to forgive me. I have no idea how to present myself in this moment. I've got so many different dimensions of reality taking place for me all at the same time. And all I have is a knowing that I'm in the right place. I'm doing the best I can. And I'm safe to speak, I'm safe to pick up the camera and make a recording. I'm not worried about my presentation because I know I'm safe. In other words, I don't know where I am and I don't know what I look like. I don't know how I should look. I don't know how I should present due to all the things going on for me. But I'm aware enough of the greater life and aware enough of myself to say, no, it's fine to pick up my phone and make a live stream. However it looks, it'll be okay. It just won't be the most comfortable experience. Think about all the great polarizations of what it means to be human. Life and death. Pain and sex. Life and death again. And my brain stopped, so we'll leave it on those three. But that's a big extreme, and it's at least present in my life within two different compartmentalizations. So my mind is on the other side of the universe from itself, and I'm sitting here in the middle trying to put out a message. In all of that, one side of the universe and being on the other side, the past 2-3 days and a little bit longer at that, I've been watching the news and listening to what's been taking place in Palestine. And we'll start off by saying all the mainstream news outlets are 100% corrupt. They're not there to put out the full news. I watch Sky News, and apparently their slogan is the full story first. Lies. They do anything but. But we get enough of a picture, and what's important is they're corrupt. They've got their own motives, own drive. They're serving themselves. And watching Sky News, over the course of this war, for part of it, I've watched Sky News for part of the war. I can see how corrupt a news station it is. Because the atrocity of the war wasn't expressed. You could see where they were hiding it. On some level, Sky News, I'm watching it in Britain. It's owned by Rupert Murdoch and Sky, which is Australian. Britain and Australia very much buddy up with America, and America is right up Israel's arse. So we can imagine whatever narrative comes out of Sky News, is going to be halfway up Israel. But the other half is the truth, and the other half is atrocious. And what I've noticed over the past week, it's actually been gradual. But there's been something that's taken place. I've unconsciously become aware of it round about a week, I'd say. That the narrative is changing, it's just getting ridiculous now. Was it yesterday, the day before? Macron, France, declared they're going to recognise Palestine. It's a big move. Personally, I think it's a load of shit, and the absolute bare minimum anybody should do. I think it's a pile of shit, but it's the bare minimum. It needs to be done, and that's all that Macron can pull his finger out to do. But it's better than Starmer and all the other Europeans. So we have something. That's massive. That's massive. It's absolute shit, but to the situation, it's massive. And I'm watching the news today, and my brain clocks the news I've been hearing over the past week, and today it was really clear. It's really highlighting the atrocities that are taking place by the IDF. I can't reference it as IDF. We're going to have to find a better name. The Israeli Defense Force. More lies. We'll call them the IAF, the Israeli Attack Force. The IAF. The news has really been coming out and making it really clear, not sugarcoating it and, oh yeah, we can't really speak about that, we'll have to just sweep that bit under the rug, and oh well, it's just more Palestinians that suffer and die. Big deal. But it seems like more of a whole conducive picture of the atrocities is coming out. And that is called the truth. For once, the news seems to be reporting the truth more accurately. And if the corrupt corporations that are the news are speaking the truth, because the atrocities are so bad they can no longer be hidden, we might be on for a seismic shift right about now. On note of seismic shifts, I've just found out my sister had a baby this morning, so that's whirling around in the universe somewhere as well, coming in and out of being a distraction for this live stream. There's a little baby boy. That's about all I know. So please do send what would you send when with a new baby? Love? Send love, and whatever the brain is unable to think is appropriate to send in moments of birth. I'm not saying flowers or chocolates, something like energy or, I don't know, sentiment. Well, that baby is being born into this truth. At least it's truth today for the baby. It doesn't have to come in and have a mental health disorder with all the lies that the networks put out. It's true, it's accurate, it's painful, but that's human. The pain's human. The truth is a mental health disorder. The lies are a mental health disorder. And it's as if the world is waking up. So I really want to make it clear, Macron, the rest of Europe, wakey, that's bullshit. Recognising a two-state solution. Sorry, how have you sat by and watched the IAF do what they are doing and have done all this time? It is no longer appropriate to take Israel and the IAF to court over this. All the war crimes. That's a load of bollocks. How have the United Nations allowed time after time this to just happen, when each time it should have been a stop? No, this is serious. The whole world has to get behind it and stop the IAF. But the United Nations is corrupt too. Europe's corrupt. And what do we mean when we're saying the United Nations and Europe is corrupt? We're saying the political system that represents democracy needs to be taken to court here, not the IAF, because all of us are taken to court for not going absolutely insane to what a system that's meant to be there for the people and is there to prop up democracy. The political system is meant to represent democracy in action. We all live for democracy, and that means the political system stays. But as human beings, the mental health disorder is that it's put on us. Where the United Nations has God knows how many opportunities to say, whole world, get on board, IAF, cross the line. That hasn't happened. And the whole world's like, we'll take the mental health disorder. We won't stand up when the United Nations is saying, go ahead IAF, you're fine. That's the problem. Had the system, the political system worked, the first line crossed, no, IDF, you made a mistake, you're going to pay for that one. You're going to pay for that one. The IDF will pay for that one. How on earth is anybody ever going to try the IAF? Because in not sanctioning them and taking action on the first one, they went from defence to attack. Go ahead, do what you want, was the message. And the rich, powerful West, showed that it's rich and powerful and not just. It doesn't represent humanity and the people. So first things first, get on with making Palestine a two-state solution, because that's the best you can do, isn't it? It's the absolute best you can do when you're not just and there for the human first. You've been taken right to the edge of your limits. Oh, by chance, we're doing something good for humanity. That's the political system. It's not there for the people. It's there for the corporation and for a system to just function. It's just there to function. Keep patching up a terrible system so that it just works. Instead of ripping it down, which is what should happen straight after the people of Palestine are looked after, the war is stopped, the mentality that's been allowed for the soldiers of the IAF to go about and do what they have done needs to be remedied. They need healing. The soldiers need healing. They don't need prison and court sentencing. That's because of the political system. They're human beings. They're human beings. And it's because of this all-powerful political system that's not there for the human being first. Forget human rights. That innocent human beings have been given the opportunity in this life. Think about this for a moment. Innocent human beings are born all over the world, and we're highlighting the ones in Israel that grow up to join the army. Innocent human beings. The world says, I am so good, this is so fabulous. The world makes sense on such a level because we know human beings and they're fantastic animals. Yeah, they have the capacity for love. We could make a world structured around love. But we're not going to do that. They're fantastic animals to be used in a different way. They have the capacity for love, but this world is not about love. So we have to imagine a world designed for humans. It would really look a lot like love, close to love, if not really focused on love in one way at least. It's never too far away. But we're here as 8 billion prisoners of our own making, and we've done the best we could, but it's terrible if we're honest. We've done the best we can, but it's terrible. And unfortunately, those innocent human souls that could have been born into a world of love, and we have to imagine that for a moment. What if the world was love and those human beings were born into that world? What would their mentality be like? What would their heart be like? What would their compassion be like to another human being? Yet for whatever reason, due to this world, I've just got an interruption, 1 second. It's tobacco. No. Oh yeah, you know, it is, yes. But another time I've got a live stream, is that possible? Next time, yeah? Not TikTok, YouTube. Next time though, promise. Yeah, just gotta come back. I don't know which side of the universe I'm on right now. Those innocent human beings that are capable of love, compassion, and deserve that, like we all do. We deserve that world and that life because it makes sense. It makes sense. If there's 8 billion people that makes sense to. It's destined to happen. It must be. But yet these innocent human beings are born into this world. And they're presented with a scenario. You've got an infinite amount of things you could do in this world. That's one of the things this world does great. It gives us choice. We have to work in this world. In a world of love, we wouldn't. But in this world, we have to work. We have to do something. But that's all right. For the ones that are lucky, they can have a think about it as a child, and if they're lucky, the lucky ones, if they're lucky again, will choose something that's enjoyable, that's worthwhile. But for whatever reason, picking up a gun and shooting someone was sold to these innocent children and human beings as the way to live. The way to live and be happy and enjoy life, remembering what makes sense. So they must have a mental health disorder, but on some level as a result of the world. If that makes sense and they're still choosing to take employment in the army, as their vocation for life, they're corrupted. Their minds are corrupted by the world. And these innocent human beings, not only do they have to go through the atrocities of being in the army in the first place, knowing that you're almost certainly going to kill somebody, You've got to be ready to kill somebody. The world is so painful. This is what they're saying. The world is so painful to what makes sense to a human being that I'm going to shut myself down to it. I'm going to go to the ultimate. I'm going to kill another human being. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to totally go the other way. And what's the other way of love? A world of love. What's the other way of a world of love? That's where I'm going. So they've joined up to the army, and that's bad enough. Now, if the world had supported them and been in check, the political system, on some level, war should be, no, it shouldn't. Nothing should be put on war. But this is where we've gone to. We've put laws on war, a good war and a bad war. This is correct in war, that's not correct in war. But we've decided to put rights and wrongs on it. To at least make the rights and wrongs work. Make it work, isn't it? That makes sense. At least we can accept it, that it works. It's wrong, but it works. But it doesn't work. The IDF committed war crimes. Countless. I don't know the politics, I don't know the history. It's something along the lines of, once upon a time that land was Palestine. But the rich powers in the West, Britain, America, they decided the Jews from World War II needed a home. And they picked Palestine. Countless of wars have been fought. Somehow Israel has taken more and more land. Israel has become richer and more powerful, and Palestine has got smaller and less powerful, to the extent that now no country recognises Palestine. If it had worked, that wouldn't have happened. They need a home, find them a home. It's possible. Why do this? Why rip a country apart? The world is such a big place. But the system doesn't work. Rich, greedy men were able to take control. And they fucked everybody. They fucked the Jews. They fucked the Palestinians. Here's a war you can go and kill yourselves over. It's ridiculous. That's what took place. And fast forward to the present moment, or maybe a year or two ago. One side responded to this war that was going to take place because of stupid idiots with too much power and money in the first place. Both sides were committed. How is peace ever going to happen? We've picked this spot. This is where you're going. Here. Here. Take that bit. And you've got to fight for it for your lives. The other guys, they're going to respond exactly the same too. And that's what's taken place. 2 years ago, one side attacked. And the other side responded. But we've got to remember the system doesn't work. Fine, these rich, greedy men want to do this, but to do that, they've got to really highlight how bad and corrupt the system is. How is that possible? I don't know. That's all I know of the history. That there was one country called Palestine. That country was was picked and chosen, not in agreement, but out of some sort of necessity for the people, as the best place for them to be. But it was Palestine. And now it's mostly Israel. And they've just invaded half of Palestine. They've invaded Gaza. It's owned and controlled 100% by Israel. At the moment, Israel is recognised. At the moment, Palestine has been deleted off the map. Nobody recognises Palestine. Israel is rich and powerful and dominating and overbearing to now its smaller neighbour, the original country, Palestine. All I know is that wars have been fought. But how is that possible? The United Nations. How many red lines must have been crossed? Look at it from my perspective. That's all I know. You're looking back on that story and your brains, the clogs are turning and they can't work it out. How on earth is that possible? Let's create another scenario. Aliens arrive. They're friendly aliens, it's alright. We've got on really well with them, but we want them to stay. So we pick a country and we say, that's where you're going to live. Go on, become one of us now. So the other country is still the country. No agreement has been made, no communication has happened with this country, this new country. Let's pick a country. Let's call it Germany. No, too much problems with Germany. Another country. Where are we going? Spain. We're going to Spain. Spain's got really nice weather. You'll enjoy it there, aliens. You'll have a really good time. There's one little problem, and Spain doesn't know about this. Have fun. That's all I know. That's how it looks. Now, there's been what, 80, 100 years of wars and fighting. And we have a new country that's formed within Spain. What shall we call it? What's a really spacey name? My brain is just in the universe already. We'll call it I'm normally good at this, just coming out with the first thing that pops into my head and nothing's coming in. But we need it friendlier than alien. They're our friends now, that's why. So I'll pick a star. We'll call it Alpha Centauri. It's named after their home planet, Alpha Centauri, because they lost their home planet in a horrific war. The worst possible atrocities happened to them. And their planet, anyway, let's get on with it. They've got Alpha Centauri now, but it's in Spain. Have fun, guys, we really love you. Now, we're a different race of aliens, and we've observed that. And we come back 100 years later. And we hear the update on the news. And the news tells us there's been about 100 years of war. There's been about 100 years of war. And now, most of that land is Alpha Centauri. And the other one's chopped in two. In the past 2 years, Alpha Centauri has basically, it got pissed off at this endless war that was created as a result of this situation. And Spain did something really bad to Alpha Centauri, and Alpha Centauri got really pissed off. And it's basically invaded half of Spain. It was already split in two, and now Alpha Centauri has taken half of it. Alpha Centauri in this world is rich, powerful, and has a mighty army somehow coming out of nowhere. Whereas Spain, they're poor, and the most heartbreaking thing is, somewhere along this road, the world has stopped recognising Spain as a country. And the world recognises Alpha Centauri as a country. The world doesn't work, man. The world doesn't work. All we have to do is realise democracy is not the system. It's not political system. It's not the political system. The political system, somewhere in there, might be good intent. Yeah, we're all for democracy. By the time it comes to the crunch, it's not upheld. Because we've all come together and we kept patching up the holes of all these different cultures and ideas coming together into this mishmash of a collective. And we've had to patch this bit and we've had to patch that bit, but it all kind of just functions. But the obvious thing is, it might function, but the human doesn't function as a result. It's not there for the human being. It has to be human-centric. It has to be human-centric. If we want to keep all the toys and the luxuries this world gives us, if we want to keep them, but we want a world designed for humans, one for love, just be prepared to let certain luxuries go. We don't have to let them all go. We can still keep some good of this world. There's no reason to bin all of it, but it needs ripping down. It needs ripping down. Good morning.